two sessions running parallel now, one in Hall 1 and Hall 2. Hall 1 is green technology solutions for existing ships, including concepts of carbon capture. And Hall 2 is maritime policies, development of marine infrastructure for inland waterways and coastal shipping.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to the Panel 5 discussion on Green Shipping Conclave, which has been jointly organized by Directorate General of Shipping and INMARCO. During the discussions, the 4 panel discussions which we had yesterday on green fuel, green ship construction, green ports, and the financing, the common refrain which I heard was on availability of technology and how are we going to use it. So that's why this is the most important pillar as far as this conclave or discussion is concerned, and we shall be doing that during this conclave, during this panel discussion today. The discussion is on green technology and solutions for existing ships, including carbon capture. Before I invite the chair, Mr. Anil, I would just like to bring a little context of the complexity of the issues or the problems which we encounter. 85% of the registered tonnage in Indian registers, in Indian flag, falls in category 3. That's ships less than 5,000 gross tonnage. And the area of operation is along the coast of India. Those vessels, which are 85% of this tonnage, emit about 20% of the total fuel emission which we are calculating. And another factor which I would bring to your notice is about 50% of the international ships registered with India operate on Indian coast. So this brings to you the complexity of the problem and how we want to integrate that to the present situation. Not to lose any time, the chair for this session is my dear friend, Mr. Anil Kumar, who doesn't need any introduction. Mr. Anil Kumar is the Principal Surveyor and the Area Business Development Manager for Southeast Asia in Lloyd's Register. He has been in the marine industry for over 33 years, and he is presently based in Kuala Lumpur. Please welcome Mr. Anil Kumar. We have with us on the panel Mr. Cristian Valdes Carter. He is the Director of Innovation Norway's operation in India and is also the Commercial Counselor at Royal Norwegian Embassy in New Delhi. Welcome, Mr. Cristian. On the panel, I would like to welcome Mr. Sachin Kulkarni from WARTSILA. He is the Head of Sales, Marine Power South Asia for WARTSILA. He's a mechanical engineer and he has completed materials management from Indian Institute of Materials Management. Mr. Sachin, welcome. On the panel, we have also Mr. Santosh Kumar from MAN. He's a mechanical engineer from Pune University. He has started his career with WARTSILA in after sales, and he then headed McGregor, and now he is manager with Man Energy Solutions. Welcome, Mr. Santosh. Now I would like to welcome Mr. Gopalakrishna from Volvo. He is a graduate engineer and a business administration At he's presently engineering R&D and engine development, evaluation, sales and marketing, strategy management with Volvo. Welcome, Mr. Gopalakrishna, please. With us also we will have Commodore Prem Varadarajan. He represents Cummins. He works for Cummins and he leads the marine application engineering. He works closely with Government of India and commercial shipyards and supports shipbuilding. Welcome, Mr. Prem. Commander Prem, sorry. I'm sorry, my apologies. With us also we have Mr. Kiran Dakle from KPIT Technology. Mr. Kiran has graduated in mechanical engineering and automotive. He's an automotive professional with 20 plus years of experience in various automotive disciplines. Welcome, Mr. Kiran. We have with us 3 experts who will be assisting during our deliberations. Mr. Shobit Kapoor from Lloyd's Register. Mr. Devrup Kabi from Indian Register of Shipping. And Mr. Shobit Hariharan from Lloyd's Register, Singapore. Mr. Shobit Kapoor is MEO Operations Manager with Southeast Asia Lloyd's Register. Mr. Devrup Kabi is Senior Principal Surveyor with Indian Register. Mr. Shobit Hariharan is coming to us from Lloyd's Singapore, and he is the Manager for New Construction and Novel Technology Support. I would like to welcome Mr. Senthil Kumar from Directorate General of Shipping. Mr. Senthil has been associated with Directorate General for just a moment, I'll just get his. Mr. Senthil Kumar has been associated with Director General for 10 over years. He has just done his Management of Science from Malmö University, Sweden. Welcome, Mr. Senthil, to give us an objectives on how this seminar should be led.
Thank you, Mehrotra ji. Good evening to all. Sri Bart de Jong, Consul General, Kingdom of Netherlands. Sri Arsene Domingo from IMO. Sri Madhu Nair, CMD, Cochin Shipyard. Sri Deepak Shetty, ex-DG, Director General of Shipping, Mumbai. Dignitaries from IMO, experts from maritime stakeholders, cadets, DGSP officials, MMD officers, ladies and gentlemen. Today, this session will talk about the green technologies. I will go through on the brief on the why we need to have green technologies. India's 2030 ambition has targeted 5% share of alternate low carbon or zero carbon fuels to the total energy content. This is the ambition, what we would like to achieve the targets for IMO strategies. By 2030, at least 5% of all the domestic ships will operate on alternate fuels other than biofuels. That is also ambitions. India is also signatory to the Zero Emission Mission and First Mover Coalition. So capabilities of ships run on hydrogen-based zero emission. Shift to alternate fuels, which we had in earlier sessions from yesterday to today morning and the last sessions. Also fuels like green hydrogen, ammonia. And also to make up advanced biofuels at least by 5% by 2030. Also in the upcoming 79 MEPC, there is going to be revision of IMO initial strategy where the targets will be set most likely for the higher version. The slide shown on the screen is like a forecast for the global ammonia demand in the sectors by 2050 from the IRENA report. So by 2030 or post 2026, it is expected that the shipping will shift to the alternate fuel to ammonia, and by 2050 there will be demand of 220 metric tons in the shipping. And ammonia may dominate the future fuel by 2030, owing to its potential for zero GHG emissions, and upcoming regulatory measures for safety aspects. So why do we require green technology? As Mr. Mehrotra was briefing in the initial opening session, average working of the vessels is around 25 years in India, especially in the coastal ships. So they need to have technology to operate to achieve the zero emissions. Most Indian coast ships require replacement technology to operate on green fuels, shift to alternate powers for propulsion, fuel cell, electric hybrid, wind or solar power. If you see the number of ships operating on coastal ships as compared to the total number of ships, most of them are operating in coastal and also the less than 500 gross tonnage. The tugs and dredges operate on high power and may require a green technology to achieve zero emissions. Also, we need to know the availability and payback period with the aim to devise a policy. The objectives of this session today, and I hope that the panelists will have throw more light on this, to identify technologies for use of alternate fuels on coastal ships like tugs, short-run passenger vessels, offshore vessels. Formulate policies for coastal shipping with anticipating higher targets in IMO revision of initial strategy. Use of solar powers on small ships, development in fuel cells, hydrogen fuel cells with the target of 5% of alternate fuels by 2030. Economic viability for emissions reduction investment in upgrading older ships, future fuel propulsion for coastal shipping, strategy for fuel selection criteria for existing ships, and mostly the new ships, either ammonia, hydrogen, or LNG, or even methanol. And as my earlier Mr. Mehrotra was telling, lots of the ships are older, and existing ship needs retrofit, so there will be more requirement for green technologies, and how much it will be viable on economic viability, that also will be discussed. Green ship construction, new equipment, suitable engines, engine storage devices, and also one of the technology like no ballast water tanks. Whether this technology can be incorporated, that is the objective of this session. I hope the panelists will, and also the audience may get enlightened by using this session. Thank you. Over, sir.
Thank you, Senthil sir, for giving us a very nice brief on what we are going to be discussing today. Without taking any other more time, I would request Mr. Anil Kumar to take over the session and thereafter.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mudit, Mehrotra, for the kind introduction. And good afternoon, colleagues and friends from maritime industry. First of all, I would like to thank on behalf of Lloyd for giving us an opportunity to chair this session. I would like to thank INMARCO and DG Shipping for this opportunity. So before we start the proceedings of the sessions, we got a special gentleman here from Norwegian Embassy, Cristian Valdes, Carter. And Cristian would like to give a Norwegian perspective of green shipping, what's being done in Norway, and what lessons we can pick or how we can transfer those, adopt those methods and technologies to our area, for example. So, and Cristian is also in a hurry. I think he's got a flight to catch just after the session. So Cristian won't be staying with us. So before we move into the panel discussions, may I invite Cristian to share your thoughts?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone, and excellencies, respected dignitaries, fellow panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting me to this magnificent event, and I want to congratulate the organizers with such a success. We have been from the Norwegian mission here for 2 days in connection with our bilateral maritime consultations with India, and the so-called joint working group maritime meeting was conducted yesterday. It was a very successful meeting, and very happy to say that within the areas like green shipping technologies, as well as ship recycling and skill training of seafarers, we will continue a very strong collaboration with India, and will be taking it forward. So just wanted to mention that initially. I come from, as you know and have heard, from Norway, so I will in a way give you a very brief introduction to what we are doing, share a bit about the developments in Norway, and developments that certainly are relevant to India. So in Norway, zero-emission shipping is growing rapidly. And is this working? Do I have to turn it on? Okay, thank you very much. So in Norway, zero-emission shipping is growing rapidly. It has been doing that for around 10 years, and this is very much driven by a very systematic public-private collaboration in electrification, as well as hydrogen and ammonia and biofuels. So Norway is already the leader in battery electric propulsion in short sea traffic, and we have from one ferry in 2015, the so-called Amper ferry that was put into operations. We now have more than 70 ferries in Norway running on battery packages, and we expect all Norwegian ferries to be fully electric by 2025. And apart from the electrification of the ships, we are also certainly establishing infrastructure on land, so we have around